So today I spoke about the importance of us thinking about mental health, both in the workplace and in school settings, thinking about stigma and discrimination specifically, which is what Time to Change is all about. Lots of tools and things that people can download if you're an educator, and also our Time to Change pledge for employers. For me, actually, it's more important that we address the culture within a school rather than the support to that individual. Not that that's not important, but again, it's around the boundaries of what school staff should be expected to do. So for me, if somebody is experiencing a mental health problem within a school setting, it's really important that the culture feels mentally healthy, so that when that person is struggling, or in fact discloses that they are, that the school rallies around them. So imagine if you had broken your leg and you came back to school and the actual act of breaking a bone was really, really stigmatised and discriminated against. So you came through the gates with your leg in cast and you were worried that people would be horrible to you, would treat you negatively, and would think about this as being your fault and something that you should have made better. Now think about that in terms of mental health. We just wouldn't expect it in that scenario. So why should we expect it if somebody is experiencing a mental health problem? So for me, my message to teachers is think about your school environment, go onto our website, download all of those free resources that I talked about today in my presentation to ensure that we're opening up the conversation about mental health, stigma and discrimination. I think it's really, really important that teachers do manage their own well-being. They work in a very stressful environment, and then we have this added extra sort of responsibility where we're asking them, can they please look out for the mental health and well-being of our children? That's a huge responsibility. So it's really important that we think about, as educators, how we can support ourselves in looking after ourselves. So, connect with people. For me, and when I know I'm experiencing an onset of some depression, it's really important that I meet with people and that I'm around others so that I'm not socially isolated. It's also important for me to be out in nature, so I love walking, and I know that for me is a really good, both helps my resilience but also helps me feel better if I'm feeling a little mentally unwell. So make sure that you're looking after yourself and don't apologise for me time. I totally say, do it. Have your lunch hour, do something interesting that you love, that makes you happy. Another tip that I use is that I make a list of all the things that make me really happy. And then I think about when I can deploy those. So against my list, I might have things that I can do in 5 minutes, things that I can do in half an hour or half a day, or things that I might want to try and do throughout the year. One of those is always going for a jog, which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But the idea is that I know I've got a list of things that will make me feel better, and I would encourage staff to think about that too.